Good morning, Bhargav. It's Friday, the 17th of March. Here's a heads-up brief for today. For the Southeast Asia production, we covered 21 issues. In North Asia, we covered 8. And for the Australasia and Pacific Islands, we covered 6. In South Asia, we covered 15 issues, plus the major issues in the Europe, Middle East, and Africa regions.
So there, which are the major issues of these you covered?
Right, so Bhargav, in Indonesia, the Satpol or Municipal Auxiliary Police are threatening protests to demand that they be considered as civil servants and get that status. They're threatening protests from later this month.
I'm not too sure if it is uniquely Indonesian, but that's concerning if the police force are coming down to the streets with strike.
Yeah, so these are auxiliary police. They help support the functions of local governments and police, but they don't have the authority of police themselves. But yes, it is concerning because Satpol are used extensively across the country, and this comes also ahead of the 2024 elections. So it is of concern, and yeah.
All right.
Also in Indonesia, Bhargav, the Corruption Eradication Commission froze accounts with over USD 5 million and seized over $3 million of assets from Lucas Enembe, the Papuan governor, under a corruption case.
All right. So the anti-corruption measures are being used. With
Yes.
what motives is a big question mark, I guess.
Yes. Right. Speaking of corruption, in Malaysia, the Anti-Corruption Commission is investigating officials from 5 major local banks, and it's also investigating 2 UK nationals for illegal outflows of money of up to nearly 45 million US dollars per day. 20 bank officials are under investigation for taking part in these fraudulent activities, and it's believed that this network has been active in Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, the Philippines, Hong Kong, and the UK.
All right. So Uday, if I may interject before you move on to South Asia, in Papua New Guinea, Exxon seems to find itself in a soup again with a court case lodged against it in relation to a bidding process for waste management. Total Waste Management must have won the bidding, but things doesn't seem to have settled down. So what's happening there?
Right, Bhargav. So with regards to this case by a citizen against Exxon, this is after his company did not get re-awarded a contract, which was eventually given to Total Waste Management, um, which is also operationally highly regarded, and it's won a lot of awards. So the case is filed under the oil and gas law, but it may not see much progress because there isn't much under it. And given the investment and the kind of influence that goes on in the PNG, I don't see this as making much progress. But that being said, there are some suspicions that there could have been some irregularities in the bidding process at that time.
It seems like a closed door murkiness. So we'll have to see how this will evolve, or if it'll actually burst open into the public view.
Right. We'll keep an eye out on it, Bhargav. Thanks. So moving over to South Asia, Bhargav, there's high tensions in Pakistan again over Imran Khan, especially in Punjab. Um, Police tried to arrest him yesterday again, but they failed to do so. And a former leader of a supposedly defunct terror group was seen participating in pro-Imran Khan protests at Zaman Park in Lahore. And police have expressed concern about that. And the Punjab police has also sounded a terror threat uh, for potential attacks in jails or breakouts or any other terrorist activities.
The law enforcement and the military are following a classic wolf whistling scheme here. The moment there is stronger opposition to their scheme, this includes the current civilian administration, they start calling out the opposition to have links with the most nefarious terror groups or primary enemies of the state. So we'll have to see how this will evolve or if something will be proven. Judiciary in Pakistan is a hit and a miss. At times held they have uh, they have held people accountable, held agencies accountable. Of course, with quite a bit of fire from the security establishment. To be more specific, their dealings with Pervez Musharraf and his court cases were very controversial. So we'll have to see if judiciary will play a peacemaker in this case as well.
Right. That'll be important to see. Moving over to Nepal, a vote of confidence will be held for Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal on the 20th of March. So we'll see how this goes.
All right.
And lastly, in South Asia, in Sri Lanka, according to the government's data, the country's economy contracted by 7.8% in 2022.
Okay. So Sri Lanka continues to be a concern. The current administration, I'm not too sure how stable they are, especially with more tensions on the ground level. Uh, right now, a lot depends on their creditors, that is India and China.
Yes, definitely. And although they do seem that it does seem that a deal will come through, the government has also delayed the elections, and there's increasing questions about that. So it remains tense at the moment.
Right.
Lastly, Bhargav, in the Europe, Middle East, and Africa regions, in France, the government invoked an article to adopt the pension reforms bill yesterday. This is after it felt that it could not get the bill to be passed through the House of Representatives. Violent clashes have since broken out in France, especially in Paris, and a nationwide strike has been called for on the 23rd of March.
All right.
Bhargav, that's a brief for today. Anything else from you?
Nothing else from my end of that. Thank you. That was a great brief.
Thanks.